Hello, friends, and welcome to the space where we discuss business, landscaping, beer, and everything in between. I'm your host, Heather Gerard from My Landscape Artist here in London, Ontario, Canada. And this is Season 2 of Hops and Hedges. Stay tuned after each episode for a message from our sponsor, ext.tech. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now crack open a cold one, and let's dig in.
There we go. With me today, all the way from Bolton, Ontario, and Banas Porcelain and Stone is Nicole Azevedo. Thank you so much, Nicole, to finally come on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Super excited to talk things with you, and it's going to be a great day. I already feel it. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, feeling it. Doesn't matter that it's raining. Doesn't matter that it's cold. Doesn't matter that we both have our little blankets. Does the camera see? Oh yeah, my blanket.
Can we shout out the
You've got
warm
yours.
coffee? Just like, can we acknowledge some hot coffee for a second?
Yes. Cheers. Cheers, Nicole.
Cheers.
So
Cheers.
I was thinking about this today before you came on the show that I think we met at the LandscapeCongress. Was it just this year?
So when we did, so it was the big show that we did with the airplane belt, the whole shazam. And I seen you walking around, so I'm pretty social. And we just hit it off. Like, it was just a good time. We talked about all things that was weird and spectacular at the same time. But that's where we first met. That was our hello.
It's so weird that, to me, I was just thinking about that this morning. I was like, how have we not actually known each other for even a whole year yet? Like, we just clicked right away when we met at Congress.
Instantly.
And yeah, quick little shout out, the display. You guys won Best Display at Congress, and well deserved. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But for those tuning in, I'm going to try and stay on topic, but you and I in the same room, though it's a virtual room, who knows what's going to happen?
We're going to go left, right, and straight at the same time.
Absolutely. So try and keep up, folks. Try and keep up. So, Nicole, for those who don't know you or your company, the company that you work with, it's not your company, but I feel like it's your company. No,
it's like one of my babies. It's one of my babies.
Absolutely.
I just put it on my wine. Yeah.
I love it. So, can you tell people that are tuning in, who are you? What do you do? Where do you work? And why is your company so awesome?
Amazing. So I am Nicole Azevedo, and I've been at Banas Stones and Porcelain Inc. for about 6 years now. I started literally the first week that COVID was announced to the world. So if anyone remembers COVID days, there was no time for breathing. It was just straight. Everyone thought that they were never going to leave their house again. So we were so busy. I learned everything in like a month. So I'm very blessed in that sense. And basically, I'm kind of like the jack of all trades around here. That's what I'm known to be. So I talk to customers, I'll take orders, custom orders, just anything between the good stuff, the nitty gritty, and the bad stuff, more so the good stuff. But I don't like to kind of center myself to one role. So I came in here, I was very like, I can take orders. And then I discovered this whole new world of hardscape, and I took it under my wing to just learn more about it. And here we are. So it's good.
Here we are. And it's so funny. The something we've talked about too, just in our own personal conversations, is how like ADHD is a bit of a superpower. So whether or not you're actually diagnosed or self-diagnosed like me, but there's like our brains are just firing on all cylinders all the time. So when you're in that kind of position, like that role where you can do the marketing and you can do social media and you can meet customers and you can handle phone calls, and it's gold. Like that's the kind of positions we need to be in.
Yeah. So I'm very I'm so happy that I'm actually with a company that just allows us to express and be who we are as well. Like, it wasn't like, this is your role and you stick to it. It's like, we're all a team. We're all a family. Yeah. We all contribute. So for example, when we went for lunch, which was amazing, I told Froze, I was like, Froze, I'm going to go meet. He's like, why are you even asking me? Go have fun, go do your thing. Yeah. And things just so happen to blossom from there, right? So you just got to take some chances sometimes and just step out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely. And I've certainly worked at places where they're like, okay, here's the company box and you have to do whatever you need to do. But you have to change to fit in this box. Okay? And that's like part of your training. Absolutely. So we've got lots of things that we're going to talk about. We are recording this at 10 in the morning. So we are not drinking beer. Sorry, folks. If you guys were hoping to just like close your eyes and just pretend it's beer. Okay. But I'm curious, actually. So what is the coffee that's in your cup?
Okay. So bear with me here, because I'm at Banas. We do have like a share in Tim Hortons K-Cups around here. Okay. So I got like a good old Tim's. I do drink it black. I do not like cream or
you're
sugar.
One of those? I don't think we can be friends anymore.
I take the bull by the horns, buddy. All right. I jump on that thing and I'm like, we're running with it. I need all the energy. It is Friday. It is raining. I needed something that was like, give me oomph. So a
Yep.
nice solid black dark roast coffee in my cup.
Excellent. And what is is it a Banas cup?
No, okay, so this is one of our
It's very
people,
pretty.
their print web design. Yeah, shout them out a little bit, but a nice standard black with some gold. I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't see the stains. Life's good. Life's great.
I'm like, actually, you can see the stains in mine. I've
Mm.
years ago, one of my very first clients actually gave me an espresso machine as a gift. They're like, you're going to be
Okay.
doing lots of designs for me, so you need good coffee. And it has been
I'd
a
be like, yeah.
lifesaver.
Doesn't Nespresso come with like all the different flavors too?
Yep.
Like there's like caramel or something along those lines.
And they
Oh,
recycle their pods. So shout out to Nespresso and Tim Hortons coffee. So there
keeping
you
it
go.
green.
Not
Keeping
to
it
in
green.
part by, except we're not sponsored by Nespresso or Tim Hortons.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, I like that. Not yet. Okay, so let's bring it back. Here we go. So you've been 5 years at Banas, so
Mhm.
right with COVID, just like you said.
Hand in hand.
Throw you to the wolves, as they say. Like just
Yeah.
jump in there, just get going, and then 3 years in your position. So
Yep.
what did that arc sort of look like? Like when you were first hired, what sort of position and roles were you doing? And then what is it that you're doing now?
Okay, love this. Okay, so when I first started, very standard, we're wholesalers, so we'd have distributors calling us, take orders. At the time, it was all handwritten, like on papers. So we're doing like
Wow.
full truckloads. Yeah, take me now. So when we were doing full truckloads, we can do upwards of like 80 crates per one order, right? That's a lot of writing. And then the yard would take the paperwork, they'd write the crate numbers down. So it was like a whole process. And I did that for a couple of years. And then we integrated our systems more thankfully into technology, so everything is now done on the computer, bless it. And that was basically like my standard. But I did sit down with the man, the legend Feroz, and I said, Feroz, like I feel like I want to learn more about this company. And I think he was waiting for someone to be like, how can I climb this ladder?
Yep.
And he took me completely under his wing, bless him. And he was basically like, Nicole, these are different aspects, and this is what the quarries look like. I started learning more about our origins as a company, which wasn't just like we pull rock from the earth and like we give it to customers and we're happy and we're making our money. It was we pull rock from the earth, but we give back to our communities and like we fill the quarries with fresh water so the community now has a source of water. Like there was so much more to it than from an outside perspective. So it
Right.
opened my eyes to kind of like how we operate as a company. So I finally said to Froze, like, I feel like we can be bigger and better. And he agreed completely. So a bunch of girls here, we all sat down and we were like, let's think of great ideas to brainstorm. And then we became that family, that close knit. Everyone can just vent to each other. If we're having bad days, we can all cry together.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like, this is who you are and this is what you're meant to be. It's like, who are we and what can we do together?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why we all just grew up Banas, but me specifically, because I wanted to know more than just standard stuff. Show me
Right.
the nitty and the gritty, right? So it worked out really well for me at least. And now like looking future bound, there's so much more opportunity for me at Banas because now I want to go to the quarries and I want to see it myself. And I'm like fully supported to do that. So
Yeah.
super excited, not gonna lie.
That's awesome. And it's something that I tell my students at Fanshawe, right? Shout out to Fanshawe Landscape Design. But, it's so hard to, or let me rephrase that. It's not something that can be taught usually. It's like, are you hungry for knowledge or are you just doing the bare minimum to get by?
Right.
And that is two very different personalities. And I don't think people who want more for themselves, they're going to proceed. They're going to keep progressing. They're going to find solutions and opportunities. And the ones that are just going to do the bare minimum to get by, you know what? That's okay. There's roles for that kind of personality, right? There are people who just want to clock in and clock out, and that's okay. But there are people who are hungry for knowledge and for information. And those are the people who are just going to like get out of our way.
Yeah, they're going to grow, right? Like for me, like I can't go home at night and be like, this is my life every single day of the year. That's just how it's going to be. It's like, this is my life. I spend majority of my time at work with these people. So we may as well make the most of it and see how far we can go with it, right?
Absolutely.
I love the idea of teamwork, and I don't believe in kind of like you are just one person and you're doing one job. It's we are all here for the same purpose. It's just to do better. So let's just work together at it. And wow, so blessed my team is on board with us having this mentality.
Yeah.
But if you're the type of person like no hate, if you're just like I just do my job and I go home and I enjoy some TV, like all for you. Love that for you. But some people like different personalities. I couldn't do that. I just want to keep going and going and going, right?
Yeah.
What it is.
Before I started my company, during COVID, I worked at a cannabis facility. And it sounded really cool on the outset.
Yeah.
They were looking for maybe somebody who could grow into a project management position. And I was like, okay, so maybe it's not landscaping, which is my passion, but nobody's hiring right now. So maybe I'll just do this for a little bit. And I have never wanted to, I was going to say shoot myself in the face, but that's not a very nice phrase.
Just
That's
goes
not a
like
very
dark.
nice thing to say. It's like, wow, this got dark real fast. But going to that job every day, day in, day out, hearing the fans, such a sterile environment. There's no windows, you know, it's like clinical, but everything's stainless steel. Everything's cold. There's no nature. And I was like, I'm a rat in a cage.
Yep.
Like, get me out. So,
You're just running on that wheel.
and some people there loved it. And I was like, okay, but this is not my jam. This is not my jam.
Nope.
So before, or word,
What are those?
right? There's so many things that I want to pick your brain about, but let's talk about the display at Congress because it was so cool. So I'm not going to talk about it. I want you to talk about it. How did it start? What was it? So creative.
So I love this story. Just for the record, this is a legendary story in my opinion and my claim to fame for a lot of people. I walked in, again, Froze is a lot of part of my story, so like get used to it if you're not. But here we are. So Froze says, Nicole, come to my office. And I sit down with him and he has a white piece of paper and he's got this like mysterious look on him. Okay. I smelled the black coffee brewing. I'm like, all right, something's going on here.
Yeah.
And he starts drawing. At first I thought it was like a crop circle. So in the middle of this thing, he's drawn like a circle. I'm like, all right. And then it started getting more oval. And I was like, this is getting pretty interesting. And he does a couple squares and a couple rectangles. And he looks at me and he goes, what does this look like? And I said, I have no idea. And just out of respect, I'm probably not going to tell you what I think about it. He's like, Nicole, I think we're going to do an airport for the LO. And I looked at him. I was like, yeah, sounds good, right? And I walked away and I was like, this guy's nuts. Like, what are you thinking? There's no way possible.
Right.
My guys in the back, my Masons, everyone else, they all got together. He kind of like made it, guys, this is my plan, and get the porcelain and we're going to miter it and we're going to make a whole belt and we're going to take travertine pieces and we're going to carve them into suitcases. Again, I'm like, what is going on, right?
Yeah.
The next day I came into the warehouse and the boys had set up half of the booth already. And I looked at him and I said, you weren't kidding. And he's like, I don't joke about these things. And I said, wow. I was like, okay. The next day, a bit more progress. And now I'm starting to see that we have the editor come in and she's doing these massive boards that say like slate gray, on the way, landed, in stock, delayed. I'm like, hey, it's starting to feel real. And then we got planter boxes. So now we're more into the design aspect where it wasn't just like a conveyor, it was like a lounge.
Right.
And I'm thinking like there's no way we're going to pull this off because sure, it's one thing to do it in the warehouse, but then we have to drive it all the way to LO and build it there.
Yeah.
We have to deconstruct and blah, blah. I said, okay, so the first day of LO setting up, we go there and all of our pallets are waiting for us. And at that point, you're just looking at like 12 pallets and you're like, what do we get ourselves into? We have like 2 days to set up. My boys here, they looked at each other. We bought them coffee and donuts. And within a day, the whole conveyor was set up and the floor. And we were like, wow, just the finishing touches. And the girls all got together and we were like, well, if we're going to do an airport, we have to dress as, you know, flight attendants.
Yeah.
So we got like the little scarves and the skirts. And I'll never forget just the experience of seeing people the first day walking towards us and just taking pictures. Something where like the year before, we could have easily done like, we could have made it so simple for us and just been like, here's some pictures of our stones or whatever.
Yeah.
In this case, I couldn't have been more like awestruck at the amount of attention that we got from that booth to the point where the morning after I came in and like Joe Salemi, like they were all sitting on the couches and they were just talking to me about like, I can't believe you guys did this.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't believe it. I can't believe it. And I was there. I seen it come to life. But it all started white piece of paper, a couple people saying like, yeah, we'll get it done for you. And then just the will to make it like the best booth ever. But now you see, we set the standard so high for ourselves.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I know what we're doing.
Okay.
I can't believe it's one of those, you wouldn't even believe it until you see it. So I'm going to let you see it when it's there.
I'm excited.
But it is nothing like we've ever seen before
at
the LO opposed to our airport.
Yep.
Yeah, so make sure you guys come to the LO and come check it out because it's going to be, wow, I promise. It's going to be great.
I'm so pumped. And I was definitely one of those people that your booth stopped me. And I was like, they actually, like you guys carved stone and porcelain and like there was handles on them. And like the attention to detail. And the whole like the airplane sort of display board looked like it was arrivals and departures, but it was all the names of your stones.
Yep.
Like it was just every little detail. So kudos to
Every
you
single
guys
thing.
because yeah, I'm super stoked to see what you guys do next year.
I want to just give like an honorable shout out to the 8 foot long plane that we did. So we used a 4 foot by 8 foot slab and it's 2 inches thick. And we got a water jet. So I mean, it was just kind of like the first month of us getting it. So we were like, how can we play around with it? Someone goes, let's do an airplane. I was like, what's wrong with this person, right? Wow.
Yeah.
I ate my words and I seen it at the LO. My heart a couple times, like a little bit of a cardiac, because I was like, please no one hit it, like the odd person who wants to squeeze in between.
Right.
It didn't break, but an 8 foot airplane to me out of stone was something I didn't even think was possible. And we did it. So shout out
So
my
cool.
team. You guys killed it. Like,
Yeah.
good job. I loved it. Oh my gosh. So
Well,
excited
that's
for
what
this year.
something too, like that's something that Banas really specializes in is the
Mhm.
custom fabrication. So
Yeah,
the only
huge. Yeah.
limit is your imagination. Like if you can do a custom airplane cut out
Yeah.
of a single piece of like anything's possible. Just call Nicole Banas and she'll
Yeah.
make it like she'll figure
I
it out.
got you. I'll
Yeah.
design it for you and you just gotta say, yeah, that looks good, and then we'll make it work. It's all good.
Yeah. So awesome. I can't wait till I get like I'm just waiting for that ideal client where I'm like, okay, you're ready for something funky? Okay.
Yeah.
I know exactly who I'm calling. So you've mentioned him a couple times, and always on this show, I like to ask people about their mentors. And you mentioned Feroz. So
Yes.
can we give Feroz an actual shout out? And can you tell us a little bit about the man, the legend, who is Feroz?
So Feroz is great. Feroz is the man of Banas. Like when you think of Banas and Feroz, he's gonna make it happen. He's gonna make it work. The nicest person I've ever met on this planet. Shout out Feroz, you're a great guy. And basically, Feroz, how do I describe him? He's not the type of leader where he's like, this is what you're gonna do, and he walks away. Like he's gonna show you what to do. He has no problem telling you in the nicest way possible, probably like this is what you're doing wrong and this is how we can improve.
Mm-hmm.
He's very understanding, very patient. One thing that I especially respect is a job. He knows a job is a job, but your family comes first. And that's something that is huge. Like, I don't think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of bigger companies, for example, not like in our industry, but in general, some of these people, like you're kind of like a pawn, right? Like without you, we'll still move on, but he
Right.
cares. Like if you call in sick or like something happens to your family, he's there for you. Or how can he help you? If we get
Mm-hmm.
into a fender bender, like he's there. We don't even know how, but he's like, I'm here to help. Like what's going on? So Feroz, basically, he is our owner operator, but he likes to call himself the GM. And essentially, when he came to Canada, overseas, his brothers had already had the operation of Banas India. So he brought a stock to Canada, and that's kind of how Banas started. He just kind of bloomed from there, and he would go up to all these dealers at the time, and he was just one man with a little book, and he's like, look what I can bring in. And someone had confidence in him, and they got a container from him, and from there it just kind of soared, and that's our
Wow.
humble beginning story.
That is just so cool. It's
Yeah.
there's something to be said for leaders who bring in the right people and being able to trust them to do their job, right?
Hmm.
It's not about, putting them down and saying, okay, do this and walking away, that kind of trust. It's that I'm here for you if you need me and I'm here
Hmm.
to guide you, but I trust you to do what you need to do. That's why I hired you,
Yep.
right? Where the
Huge. And
opposite is like a micromanager, right? I
so
gotta make sure you don't screw up. Well, then you're gonna screw up.
exactly. And he is so open. He knows like humans are human, human will be human, and humans will make mistakes.
Right.
It's not like you did something wrong and he's just gonna absolutely like obliterate you with his words. It's just like, no, like we can also fix things, like we're all connected, we're all a circle here. And he's not the type of person where he's going to kind of lash out at you in any way. And that's one thing that we all love about him as well. But he takes the time to really care about his employees like we're family. I mean, here we do prank wars. Like we do so many
Did you say
things here
prank
that
wars? Prank
don't get me
wars? You guys do prank wars at Banas.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And it's
tell me
either,
what.
okay, these are great. You're gonna love these. So we have a middle room between the warehouse and the office.
Yeah.
So the odd time if you're in the dark and you walk in, we're gonna probably scare you. Like
Oh my
there's a good chance and we'll
gosh.
record it. There's also been times where basically I'll prank call the girls and I'll ask them like a stock question and we'll see if they know the answer to it, but it's not our product, and they're just sitting there and they're kind of like confused of what's going on.
Oh geez.
Yeah, I mean, there's many different pranks that we do here, or like we'll just scare each other. very family around here. But yeah, so whoever wins is the winner, but if you snooze, you lose, you know?
Right. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's one
Yeah.
of the things about being an entrepreneur without any staff. It's like I always joke that my fellow workers or
Yeah.
my fellow employees are my plants. It's like, what am I
Probably
gonna
great
do? Like
listeners, to be fair.
tickle an orchid? Like
Yeah, yeah.
you can't really pull pranks on your plants, but you thought I was gonna water you today. Guess what? Not today.
Guess you're gonna be thirsty.
Sorry. Not
Yeah.
sorry.
And like
Uh
one of the first questions I think I asked you was about my spider plant and how often I should water it.
oh my
And you told me to
God.
just drench that puppy, and I did, and it's prospering. So thank you.
Yeah, it's so funny. So even with cacti, right? Like a cactus, you're supposed to drown it every once in a while and then let it dry out. But okay, so let's talk. Oh, actually, before we talk about spider plants, because there's a thing there, I did want to give a little shout out. So Feroz Khan is actually going to be speaking at Landscape Ontario Congress. So his talk is Tuesday, January 6th at 9:30 in the
Mhm.
Burton Room.
Mhm.
And he's going to be talking all about Banas stone, porcelain, different technologies, the evolution of those technologies, natural stone, porcelain.
Mhm.
So if you want an opportunity to meet this incredible man in person, that's where you go see him. And then I'm
Yep.
speaking on the Thursday. So
So
it's
go to
going to be
both.
very cool.
Yeah. Make some time.
So, and also, so Feroz, the first time that I met him, it was very briefly. It was very briefly. He's a very busy man and a very popular man. So I kind of like squeezed in. I was like, "Hi, I'm a big fan. Hi," and got like a little fangirl, and he's like has no idea who I am, and then I just walked away. But can you talk about the contractor appreciation event that you guys did? Because it was awesome.
Yes, amazing. So what we did, the Kajama in Toronto, so basically it's a pirate ship,
Yeah.
and we just loaded everyone up on this boat. But we had an open bar and, well, drink tickets because if we let it be open and someone made a poor choice and we didn't want to live with that regret.
Yeah.
But essentially what we did is we invited all of our dealers. So our dealers came, and then we invited contractors that we knew were very appreciative of Banas products and everything
Hmm.
else along those lines. We invited them all in, of course, yourselves. We had KTC was there. Shout out
Yeah.
KTC, they're amazing. So we just invited kind of like our community or our people, the people that we knew were going to grow with us as well. So even
Hmm.
Inlight came. They are amazing. We love Inlight. They ended up coming as well. But we ended up having such an amazing turnout, an amazing night. It was good food, albeit the food was served in the bottom half of the boat. So when we went up the stairs and it was dark by that point, thank goodness we were giving away hoodies because it was freezing
It
cold on
got
the boat.
cold. Got a little cold. Or we're in the basement eating and we got some like hit some waves. And so the whole room goes "Ugh."
Oh,
So
that was so
I
funny.
don't think anybody got seasick, but there was a definite like the whole room just went "Ugh."
I remember looking at the like a painting on the wall and I was
Yeah.
like, I
They're
asked my
like
coworkers, is
"Ugh."
it moving? Yeah. She's like, I think it's moving because I was like, oh no, I'm starting to get like the loony bird on the boat, right? Like, what's going on? But
Yeah.
it was such a good night, and I'm pretty sure like the CN Tower was lit up in colors because Morgan Wallen had a concert that night too. So one of my dealers came on the boat and he went, do you know, what did he say? He said, do you know who's having a concert here tonight? And I said, no, I have no idea. And he's like, well, it's Morgan Wallen because I had to ask people. Everyone kept coming in plaid and cowboy boots. And I was like, why is everyone dressed like this? Turns out it was a really big country singer. All in all, it was a great night, and I hope you
Hmm.
enjoyed it.
Oh, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And it was so cool to something that's really interesting with I think landscape contractors and professionals is that we all kind of know each other. It's
Mhm,
not a me versus you thing. Like there's
mhm.
some competition, but it's healthy competition. So
Yes.
it was so nice to see some of those other designers and contractors who I know virtually,
Yep.
or they're people who refer me business or I refer them business because we're not in the same cities.
Right.
So we don't always get to see each other. So it was really neat to see a whole bunch of them out there too.
A
Awesome
nice little
event.
like hub, like it was just everyone come here, and it wasn't even like let's not even talk about work or anything. And like it's
Yeah.
not about Banas, it's about community. So I think we did I think there was like 100 some odd people there and it worked out really well on a boat,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
It
it
was
worked out
awesome.
well.
It
We'll
did.
take it.
So really cool. Something about so I'm just following the script here from our questionnaire, so that's what I keep looking back to. I'm always interested too about people's advice. And yours actually said, keep going, don't give up, know your market. Marketing is everything. So
You want to know where I got that from, don't you?
yeah. Yeah, I do.
Love it. Okay, great. So keep going, don't give up. I mean, this doesn't have to do with your job. This could be just anything in general, in my opinion. Before I was where I am in this company, fun fact, I was a waitress. So this is probably where I got my customer service skills from. And not all people are good people to be waiting, which is fine. Like some people are very different. And with that being said, when I first got here, I was like, what is a coping? Like, what's a paver? What is a slab, right? Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on to granite, sandstone, limestone. Isn't it all just like a rock? Instead of giving up, I was like, okay, just like keep going and learning. And it's such a male dominated industry. And it's okay to say
It
that because
is.
it's 100% like
It's
if I go
true.
somewhere, exactly. Like we have some really powerful women in this industry, to be fair, and we're killing
Hmm.
it. But there's also like a large amount of male presence in here, which is fine. So don't give up and like don't get the impression that you can't be someone here. And like marketing is everything in this day and age, in my opinion. If you don't have good pictures or content or catalogs, people eat with their eyes, especially when it's something that's aesthetic. I
Hmm.
can't say that I'm not the bones of a project. I'm the skin. So people are going to look to me for color aesthetic or finishing aesthetics. So making sure that you are on top of advertising your product well will get you such a far way. And we've learned that, by example, on Instagram when we post things, we want to be human. So it's let's show face and let's talk and be ourselves. And it's not like an awkward script. It's just like, hey, how's it going? The other day I posted on my own Instagram for Banas. I said, I noticed that all my videos I had my hands up. I don't know if it's because I'm Portuguese, but the hands come into play. And then that scene from like Talladega Nights, Ricky Bobby, it was like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like that is literally me, just always up. They are my
Perfect.
blanket. But this is what I mean. Like it's to be yourself, keep going, don't give up. Marketing is everything and market yourself. Be who you are because if no one likes you for who you are, then like don't even bother. They're not
Right.
even worth it. Just
Hmm.
keep being you. Be beautiful. This is who you are. This is your skin. If sometimes it hurts when people are like, "Oh, like I don't know how far I'll make it here. Like, but I don't know anything." You do. You know tons of things already at this point. Just keep
Yeah.
growing from there. Keep going.
Keep going, keep
So
growing.
important. Exactly. And that was one of the
Yeah.
conversations I think I had with you over lunch. It was just like, what inspired you to like keep on going? And it was just like, keep being you. And
Yep.
it's true. I should have to change for absolutely no one in this world because
Hmm.
if you don't like me for who I am, then maybe it's just not meant to be,
Then they're not your
you know?
person, and that's okay.
Not
It's
my
okay.
people, not my person. Yeah. You can find
Yeah.
your community and I can find mine. And like as long as I just keep growing and I'm going and growing, just
Going
whoop.
and growing. Yep. I've said too, like, I would rather people dislike me for who I actually am. And it doesn't waste my time, it doesn't waste their time. I am not everybody's cup of tea,
Hmm.
but for some people, I'm like the best shot of whiskey, right?
Love
And I
that.
don't generally like whiskey. But, the thing is that if I pretend to be someone I'm not and people fall in love with that facade,
Hmm.
they're still not my people.
Right. But then
Like,
you have to keep up and act. Like that's
oh,
a lot of work, right?
it's
Like
exhausting.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you. And so
Nope.
usually my first impressions of someone is they're gonna smile at me. I know off the boat, I'm like, okay, we're on good terms now because we're both friendly, right? But if you look over at me like, nah, I don't have time for this person, it's kind of like, well, maybe it's your loss because I probably had a plethora of knowledge and you did too, and we could have combined ideas and we could have been great together, right?
Yeah,
But you are who you are and I am who I am. And at the end of the day, I guess like the world will show you who your people are, right?
absolutely.
It
Ab-
is.
You be yourself and your people will find you, right?
Stay golden, pony boy. Yes.
What? What is
Stay
this?
golden.
Stay golden, pony boy?
The outside. No, you must have
Oh,
watched The
sorry.
Outsiders.
No. Do I
So
need to
later
watch The
on,
Outsiders?
I'm gonna have to put a task to
Okay.
continuously tell you to watch The Outsiders. Yeah,
Okay. Challenge accepted. Challenge
deal.
accepted.
Mm.
Speaking of marketing, so I actually just finished watching or reading The Purple Cow by Seth Godin.
Oh,
Have you read this
okay.
book?
No, sounds
Okay.
great.
I will watch The Outsiders. You're going to read The Purple Cow.
Yes, absolutely.
It is a very quick, easy read, but it's pure gold. Somebody else on the podcast, I'm not even sure who it was, recommended the book, and I went out and bought it, and I have no regrets.
Can I get
Awesome
like a
book.
synopsis? Like what am I jumping into?
So the whole idea of Purple Cow, according to Seth
Okay.
Godin, is that he starts the book off by saying, imagine you're a family and you're driving through the countryside and you come over this hill and you see a cow, like a regular cow, but the skyline is perfect, the landscape is beautiful, and the whole scenery is just like, wow, man, this is a good, beautiful landscape. And then you keep driving, you see another cow. It's like, that's nice. But after like 6 hours on the road of seeing cow after cow after cow, it becomes less interesting. A cow is a cow. You've seen it before, you've seen it a gazillion times. But then you come over a hill and you see a purple cow. You're going to tell everybody.
That car's going in the ditch. I'd be like, what just happened?
Right? And it's easy to also tell people about a purple cow. If you tell people about a cow, it's like, well, okay. But if you say purple cow, they're like, a purple cow. And that's going to spread. And that's marketing, right? Yeah. So don't try to, if your product is a daisy, not a daisy cow, oh my God, a dairy cow, right? Black and white. Maybe it's a daisy cow. I don't know. I always call it daisy cow. A dairy cow named Daisy. Yep, this is a very interesting episode. We knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen with you and me.
We called it.
So, we called it. It's one thing to try and market a dairy cow, but if you have a purple cow, the marketing is a lot easier.
Yeah.
So it's not about changing the marketing. It's about having a great product. If you have excellent customer service, not just good customer service, that's not good enough. If you have good customer service, nobody's going to tell their friends about that. True. If you have amazing customer service, that's going to spread. Anyway,
absolutely.
Shout out to Seth Godin and the Purple Cow because...
Shout out Daisy.
Shout out to Daisy. Yeah, you go, girl.
I hope she's mooing in the fields of maybe Netherlands, just because that's what I imagine.
I have such a visual personality. I'm totally imagining Daisy the dairy cow.
I imagine those rolling hills. Like the man with the yellow hat.
Okay, here we go. We are on a journey together, you and I.
Yes.
We're going to bring it back to your spider plant. Okay.
Oh,
so
yes.
I actually hate spider plants.
Well, correction, snake plant, because I'm scared of spiders. And I was like, what's second worst? Snake.
So you have a snake plant, not a spider.
The ones that kind of like that. I think those are snake, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, spider plants are like the. I don't even know how to...
Yep. It's this one.
Yeah.
For anybody who's listening and not watching, you're missing out on a whole. We're miming the different shapes of plants. You guys are missing out.
It's like if my arms were spiders.
Yeah, like this.
Maybe a T-Rex.
My gosh, my brain just stopped working. It just got overloaded. Full stop. Yeah, so spider plants, can't keep them alive.
No.
Absolutely not. I don't know what it is. It doesn't like my house. But a snake plant, if you're looking for a plant that's low light and you keep forgetting about the plant and you keep forgetting about watering it, a snake plant is generally pretty hard to kill. The easiest way to kill a snake plant is to give it too much love and too much water. So if you ignore it, it's probably very happy.
Wow. You know what? That explains so much because mine is thriving. And it does sit in the dark corner of my room beside my books because I thought how ambient I felt.
What else do you need?
And my cat, I think I'm blaming the cat, but it's 50-50 on the Chihuahua. I think he bit a corner off of the leaf. And it's still it looks kind of like a mean plant, but it's killing it.
You just made the best face. Again, for anybody who's not watching, you guys are missing out. I just imagine this badass
they just
plant
need to go
with a
watch
chunk
the
out.
video.
Yeah, just go watch
maybe
it.
A little earring, just setting googly eyes on the pod. Yeah.
Can you please put an earring on your plant and send me a picture of this? I'm gonna put earrings on my plants now. That's where I'm at.
I feel like some plants just have those personalities, right? You just gotta let it grow. You gotta let it go.
Yeah.
Let it do great things.
Whenever I do I have a booth at CD Saturday or Earth Fest or something like that, and I will bring houseplants to decorate the table, and I always put googly eyes on them. Because it's if you think I'm a dead serious, boring landscape designer, that's not what I am. That's not what I am. So
can you start hiding some jumbo googly eyes in some clients' places? Just be oh, you want a hydrangea, and then you lift up the leaf, and it's just hello.
Hilarious. Another totally random thought, but have you seen the skit? I think it's Christopher Walken, and he puts googly eyes on plants.
I've seen someone put googly eyes on butter and milk in fridges, so when people take it out at workplaces, it's just
yeah. Or you go to the grocery store and you do it. Or you find is it Dr. Oetker? Is that one? Or what's the Quaker oatmeal
with the face, and then
you put the googly eyes on the oatmeal in the grocery store, and people are like, "What the heck?" But anyway, I will send you. Yeah, that's the one I want to. You actually have to pay extra for googly eye oatmeal. But yes, I will send you the link. And if anybody's listening and you want a random distraction from whatever you're doing, as long as you're not driving, look up, I think it was Saturday Night Live, but I'm pretty sure it's Christopher Walken, and he's terrified of plants. So he puts the googly eyes on the plants. So he they don't scare him.
You have to send me the link now.
Yeah, it's
There's
so good.
like, okay, we're on the same page. I need to see googly plants.
Yep, I will send you the distraction. You got it. Okay. A couple more questions for you. I promise we'll get somewhat focused-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just a good time. So like you can't hate, right?
Yeah. No hate. No hate.
Yeah.
I'm really curious actually to ask you. I always ask people if they've got like a favorite tool or software. And you mentioned light beans. So that's light
Yeah.
beans, as in pork and beans, not
Like
beams
kidney?
as in sunlight, like kidney. Yeah. So light
Dumping?
beans design
Yes.
application. What is this? I'm not
Yes.
even familiar with this.
Welcome to the world of wow. That's how I'm going to describe it. Okay. So Lightbeam's essentially what it is. It's a design platform. It is compatible with over 30 different design softwares, Revit, Enscape, Dynascape, you name it. And essentially we have all of our colors, all of our sizes on there when it comes to pavers. It's so easy to use. This is such a blessing for us. Basically what you do is go on our website or you go on lightbeans.com. Let's just say you choose dove gray. Everyone seems to love that color. You can choose any type of format you want, whether it's laid in a 2x2, 3x2, blah, blah, blah. You apply that to your design using whatever you feel comfortable using, and it implements it seamlessly into your application. It is free to use, which is huge. It is all out there. It is literally like, it's so practical, in my opinion, instead of being like, well, if you're going to use Enscape, it's just whatever works for Enscape. Like this works for just about anything. It has a SketchUp plugin.
See that?
SketchUp's your thing.
I'm a SketchUp designer. Yeah.
You see? So anything, boom, throw it in. We were the first stone and porcelain company to go on that. So we seen a huge demand for it this year. It went from like a little bit of people using it to boom, powerhouse right through. So I think this is like a great opportunity for designers. Even like I know some contractors, like they do have the design options with them as well. Basically just implement everything in there, download the textures, you just put your like email address in, and it gives you all the files and boom, Bob's your uncle.
Okay. I have some
Easy,
homework
simple.
to do. I'm
You
going to
do.
check that out. That's
Highly
very cool. So, and that's light beans.
Yes.
Kidney beans full of light.
Kidney, jumping,
it.
you name it, we got it.
Okay.
And if you go on our website, let's just say you choose a specific color. We're going back to dove gray because everyone seems to know it. If you click specifically the dove gray color, Light Beans also gives the option. So there's going to be a paver picture kind of like right center. And you can use this little scrolly thing and you can show it in different lighting. So it'll go completely dark to show you what it looks like at nighttime, evening. It gives you different lighting options because some people want to see maybe what it'll look like at night. I mean, gives you the options, but it's a really neat tool. It's completely FOC, is amazing. Highly recommend. So give it a shout, give it a try if you haven't.
Excellent. I am totally going to try that out.
Yeah, and it has a great name. Like you'll never forget it.
Light beans.
Yeah,
it's an N, not an M. That's what I'm going to struggle with.
When we first brought it in, I thought it was light beams. You know how many people called me and said I can't find it, and I said, well, little did you know.
Whoops.
Fun fact.
Yeah, just making sure you were paying attention.
Right?
See, pulled a prank.
Exactly. And it's a Canadian company. So we're supporting.
Okay,
we're supporting our peeps.
Yeah, sold. I'm all for supporting the Canadian.
Yeah.
Question for you. So on the questionnaire again, there's so many of us that we're facing different challenges. We're all at different points in our life. We're at different points of business. I'm at 5 years in business, and there's a certain, not a wall. I don't want to say a wall. It's like a sitting wall because I know I can get over it. Right now, I'm just at this wall going, whoa, right?
Yeah.
Like there's the next jump is going to be a big jump, right? So that's where I'm kind of in a, I don't want to say a funk, but yeah, a bit of a funk where everything's really good, but it's overwhelming. And it's like, okay, like it's ready. The company is growing and it's time to take the next step. And it's going to be a big step. And it's going to be an expensive step, but it's not going to get any cheaper. So whether I do it now or 10 years from now, it's the next step. So
doesn't matter. Yeah.
I just have to figure it out. Something that you mentioned was how it has been a weird year for spending. So we're recording this is 2025, in case 10 years from now we're listening to this and we don't know what year it is. But it has been a weird year for spending. Can you talk a little bit about that and how how the business has sort of it's not a full 360 pivot, but you've had to adapt to what you're storing, to how people are ordering. So how have you guys been facing this? Managing is a good word.
So the best example I can give is COVID. So during COVID, like I said at the beginning, everyone thought the world was going to shut down, which is fair because we were all under this assumption that something's happening, but we don't even know what this is. We just, let's follow the rules. We'll stay inside. everyone started working from home. So, you have the person who will look at their backyard and they don't have money to spend on traveling because everything's shut down right now or public places are closed. And they'll be like, you know what, maybe I do want a pool because then I'll be able to have the luxuries at home. So people are spending money on pools, patios, backyards, steps, sills for their window. They're thinking about
Hmm.
home life and how they're going to stay there. And then we go into after COVID. So things started opening up. So now people have the money and they're using that and they're allocating it towards maybe more vacations, or kids are back in school now. So we have summer camps because people work. So a lot of money that we had before, it got allocated to now real world things in that sense, where we're
Yeah.
going back to real schedules. And then we noticed the interest. Interest is high, and not everyone has the money to just spend on like making their front porch looks good, for example. COVID days, everyone was like, let's just make our like little porch look great. So they'll spend the money there. But now
Yeah.
people are more conscious on money. You look at the price of fruit, for example. I bought a thing of strawberries the other day. It was like $8. I was like, wow, it's
Oh my
crazy. And it's
gosh.
not even in season. They're like little tiny things, right? So this year, we've noticed that if people have the money to allocate towards their designs, it's usually big projects. So we're getting like over 2,000 square feet orders for one house. And great for us, but then we're having our dealers tell us like it's such a different year and people aren't willing to spend the money because of the tariffs. Tariffs was huge for us. We're exporters, right? So
Hmm.
we bring anything into the States, they're obviously going to get affected there. We're getting affected here. So that changed everything. The mortgage payments are higher, but now we're starting to see that they're leveling out again, but we don't know which way the market's going to go. It's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
So we've noticed this year, everyone in any industry, they have some type of quarrel with it. They don't know what's going on, or they're not confident to say what's going to happen next year. We look at our numbers and we're like, we're doing good and we're still busy and it's raining. It snowed up in Alliston the other day. Um, but we're still doing okay. But come next year, like there's no definitive way of measuring which way we're going to go. It's kind of one of those years where you're kind of flowing with it. You're just hoping that everything's going to work out.
Mhm.
And that's where we've noticed a lot of our dealers. It's just like, I guess we'll see next year. That seems to be like the consensus, right? And even like, I'm sure with design as well, like you get into that, like the people who want to do like these amazing designs in their backyards or front yards, for example, and they're willing to kind of leave it in your good hands. But then you have some people who are maybe more afraid to take that step because they're not sure what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. There's so much
It's weird.
uncertainty right now.
Yep.
And I mean, we are not going to talk about the political landscape currently. That's a different podcast. But there's just so much uncertainty. Like, we're
Yes.
not sure about spending, and we're not sure about the cost of things, and we're not sure about the economy. We're
Hmm.
just not sure.
Yep.
So there are people who have money, I'm going to say, that they don't even think about it. So they're like, well, we need
Yeah.
to do this.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter how much it costs. That's one sort of client that's out there. I want it, and the money doesn't matter. But then you have everyone else who is trying to pay all the bills. They're not
Mhm.
sure if their job is secure. They're not sure. They're just not sure. So
Yep.
it's hard to feel confident in spending money on quote unquote luxury items if you're not sure, right?
It-
Right? If you don't feel secure and safe, you're probably not going to feel that freedom to spend.
right.
We'll
100%.
revisit that topic next year. We'll just have to do a second episode, and we'll watch this
Yeah.
episode first, and we'll see like, oh, where are we at now? Like, it's 2026.
Yeah, it did.
Very
But
good.
yeah, I just hope, and like I feel for everyone who feels that they're in the same position as we are at Banas, but we just hope and pray every day that everyone is still doing well and that our industry is still thriving. And there's so many supports that we can get through Landscape Ontario too.
Mhm.
They have great supports for students, for example, and everything else who do want to venture into this industry. Like if there's anything that we can do as a community, it's all come together and just help each other out. There's enough pie for everyone, right?
Absolutely. And
Mhm.
that ties into the concept of when you come from a place of abundance, there is enough pie for everyone. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So all we can do is the best we can with what we
Mhm.
have, with where we're at, and that's it.
Yeah.
So just keep trucking along, riding that wave, and we'll all just have to see.
Yeah.
So before we run out of time, I have two last questions for you. So one was at Banas, like you're working with natural stone, you're working with porcelain. So I'm sure you would like to point out some of the upcoming trends. So we're coming into the end of 2025 now. Like
Ooh.
what's going on? What's happening
Wow. I love
trend-wise?
this question. I love this question. So ask me 2 years ago, I'd say black, grays, and whites. Everyone likes kind of like that clean.
Gray is what I
Yes.
call it. Millennial gray.
Or give me like the black fixtures with like the white marble countertops, like it's
Ugh.
very, very like there's no color. But that was the trend.
Yep.
Now we're noticing earthy tones. We're noticing browns and beiges, and some want to explore a little bit of the pinks from like our lavenders, for example. And it's starting to get fun. And we're
Yep.
starting to know people are opening up, and then they're spending money on the plants and like the big trees. Like there's finally color coming back into our world. So
Yep.
products that we would have stopped before, like being like my dark colors, we would have just containers of it, and they would leave Banas right away. But now we're looking and we're like, wait, what's happening? Now we're going into like the earthy tones. So now from our factories, we're getting more of the earthy tones, and those are selling out. Trends are one of those things where like the 90s is coming back, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like everything, it just keeps like revolving and going back to what it was.
Right.
But I am so happy that we're finally adding color into our lives. It's making everything less depressing.
Right.
Life is good.
Yeah.
No more black and whites, and then it like, grays. It's give me the browns and the beiges and the greens and the blues, and I'm so
Yeah.
thankful. Thank you. But this is the trend that we're noticing is just a whole
Yep.
lot of color.
And I'm sure I'm not to blame, but I am definitely contributing to this shift because you walk into a space and everything is cold. People are sick of it. We're sick of
Yep.
feeling cold. And maybe on the high end, if you have a lot of money, you're like, well, I want my place. I want my house to look like a museum.
Yeah.
If you think or feel like I'm mocking you, I do apologize. But if that does sound like you, you're likely not my ideal client. So
No.
my apologies. I'm sure there is someone out there for you and it's not me, but that's okay.
Yep.
Find your people, right? But I want warmth. So
Yes.
I want woods. I love combining wood and stone, right?
Yes.
And having that warmth. And then something that I'm always kind of drilling into people too is that if you have a warm tone house finishing, like if the facade is a red brick or yellow or kind of that pinkish rose type brick, don't put a gray or black driveway in. If the tone, right, it's just like blasphemy to me. It's like, oh my gosh, you have a warm tone house. So install a warm tone hardscaping so it looks
deep brown, like give it that like centric feel, like
warm
cobblestone.
or cold?
We can do cobblestone too. Like I think red brick goes well with cobble, like give me
a warm cobble.
Yeah, and this is me imagining like England with the horses. I don't just like randomly gallop.
Yeah. If again, I'm sorry, people, you're gonna have to go back and just watch the video because we're talking and with our hands and we've got horses going. Where are our coconuts? That's what we need. We need coconuts to do the
next time we'll
sound.
put like the green screen in the back and we'll be like on vacation mode.
I love
we'll
that.
Just talk about it with coconuts.
Coconut like Monty Python, right?
Yes.
Like okay. One last question.
Okay, ready.
You and I are like on fire.
Yeah, we're killing it.
Killing it. I shouldn't have had 2 coffees this morning. That's probably also contributing to.
Yeah.
But you're all welcome. Yeah, they're definitely not. Definitely not. I want to talk to you about books because I'm obsessed with books. And you mentioned The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which I'm actually not familiar with this book. So can you give us the synopsis of this book?
Yeah, so it's exactly like when you hear the word Auschwitz, it's exactly what you would imagine. So it's that time in Germany, when the war was ongoing and everything else. And essentially it's a devastatingly beautiful book, and it resonated with me. And I'm a bookie. I mean, I'll read books for days. I love books, any genre. Like give me fantasy all the way to like psychological thriller. But this one was one of those books where it hit because it's real, like it happened. And I feel like it was fabricated into a beautiful story. So it was essentially what it was a man, and he was a Jewish man in this time. So he was put into Auschwitz, and he was a tattooer before. Me, I have tons of tattoos everywhere. I was like, oh, this can be a great book. He ended up doing the numbers for the prisoners on their arms. And there was this beautiful lady. And I mean, when he said beautiful, like she didn't have hair or anything, like she was skinny, but he seen how beautiful her light was radiating. And he did everything to sneak her food, and he would give her attention, and they would meet up in the barracks. And even when like all this stuff was happening, that was his priority in life. It was just to make sure that this lady was okay. And at the end of it, they do fall in love. But it was one of those like tragically beautiful books because it's our history, for one. It's what happened. But also like it shows that there is light and there's beauty in darkness. And it was so beautifully written. So definitely you have to read it. It's one of those like has nothing to do with me in this industry, but it gives a great perspective of how beautiful humans can be to one another without the judgment of aesthetic or makeup or who you are or what class you're put into. It's
Right.
he just genuinely found love in such a dark place with a beautiful lighted woman, and she
Aw.
just so happened to be amazing. We love a good love book, and that one just like all miles out, but it was
So
great.
good.
It was great.
Okay.
Yes.
I see
Can
that it's
I ask you?
also a film. So I was
Yes,
just
it
looking it
is.
up quick, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
What kind of book do you prefer? I have to ask.
I'm a little bit of a nonfiction junkie.
Okay.
Yeah, so I keep trying to read fiction and I can't get into it, which is weird
There's
because I
not
have such a crazy imagination. But as soon
right.
as there's a grammatical error, I'm pulled out of the story. I'm like, what the heck? That's not how you spell the. Come on, where's this editor? And I get angry and then I can't finish it. So it's terrible. It's my curse.
And you try, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah, so there's so many books. It would be hard for me to just pick one. But I
Well,
know for sure one book that really, I would say, changed my trajectory was something called The Desire Map. And it's a
oh,
book where you kind of read a chapter and then you write in it and you do journaling. And it was a kind of a book to get you to focus on your core values. And it's a self-awareness book, really. And
yeah.
it's to try and drill down to what really is important and what really matters to you. So when you're
Mhm.
looking for a job or when you're seeking out opportunities, not just accepting whatever's there, right?
Mhm.
And not to limit yourself, but to really focus on what is it most important to you and
Right.
what kind of life do you want to make for yourself. So it was that's The Desire Map. It was a really powerful book. So
Wow. We love a good like self-evaluation.
yeah,
Mhm.
shadow work, very important. So that's a whole other podcast too. So Nicole, we are out of time, but it was an absolute pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm looking very forward to seeing your booth at Congress. And then I'm sure I'll see you around, but we'll definitely have to have a second episode this time next year to revisit and see where we're both at and what's going on.
Yes, I'm excited. And thank you. You are amazing. It was such an honor. I hope you guys watch this as well, not just listen to it, because I feel like we contributed a lot
There was much
hand-wise.
happening. Yeah. The Portuguese talking hands. There was just, the
The
horses,
plants and the
everything.
horses.
Thank you again, Nicole, and I will see you around.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
That concludes this week's episode, hosted by me, Heather Gerard at My Landscape Artist. Now, before you go, here's some info about our sponsor, ext.tech. In today's fast-paced world, your landscaping business needs modern solutions to keep up with the change. That's where EXT comes in. EXT is revolutionizing the way you manage projects and streamlines your landscaping, snow removal, and construction operations. Instead of juggling 5 different software packages, endless spreadsheets, losing track of leads, and missing out on potential sales, you could be leveraging AI job routing, client management, and financial insights with a modern mobile app that employees love to use. With EXT's flat rate pricing, you'll never be caught off guard. If you're ready to revolutionize and grow your landscaping business, visit ext.tech today to learn more. And for additional savings, use the code HOPS10 at checkout, or just tell them that Heather sent you. See you next week for another episode of Hops and Hedges.